From Los Angeles, TraderInsight.com presents Dr. Adrian Manz in the war room and at the helm with today's look at stocks and sectors on the radar.
For TraderInsight.com, this is Adrian Manz, and this is Stocks and Sectors on the Radar for Tuesday, January 6, 2009. On Monday, we had our first day of real trading on the indices. We saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average pull back in 81.80 to close at 89.52.89. The advancers led decliners 2,090 to 1034, and we had NYSE total volume of 1.323 billion shares. So it looks like we're ramping up, and we're going to get going again here and hopefully have a very good environment for traders going into the beginning of this year. We have got the Dow right in the middle of the Dow box. Now, I got an email. I keep encouraging you guys, send me questions, and a lot of you do. I got an email from Milos asking, what do I think the Dow is going to do here? I really think that the market overall, we're up 25% off the lows that we had in. That's really good news. We're at the top of the Dow box. We're bumping against that overhead resistance. I personally think the news coming out this week, hey, it might be good, but for the most part, I've got a hunch it's going to be bad. I can't imagine that employment number is going to come in, smelling like roses here. This week is going to be a pretty tough one. We're going to see how the market reacts to it. Market's not been reacting to bad news badly. We were, however, going into the end of the year, and of course, everybody likes the change of the calendar when it comes to trading. So we're going to see what the outlook for traders is like when they start receiving some of these pieces of information as the week goes on. Lots of earnings, lots of news this week, right? Now, the other thing that is interesting and worthy of looking at is that we've got a little bit of a divergence here. The Dow is closing below that critical resistance level at 9,000, while the S&P has managed to maintain support around that 918 support. We closed right above it. That's good news. We managed to stay above 920. That's where we want to be on the S&P. Constructive price action, even in the face of the financials getting whacked on Monday. So the Dow took it on the chin. The S&P 500 didn't fare quite as badly. The NASDAQ 100 and the NASDAQ Comp, both same story. They closed pretty well, I would say, for the day, on a pretty uncertain day here. So they had narrow range trading sessions, but they managed to close in the tighter part of the range and right around or above the open. So that's sort of the broader markets. Now, the other question that Milos posed to me was, what do I think of oil? Now, I don't trade oil directly. I definitely watch it in terms of what it means to the markets. What I watch is the oil indices. So in this case here, I've got the CBOE oil index up. I also watch the Amex oil index. Obviously, we've got quite a rally in crude oil. Interesting to note, gold is headed in the opposite direction, so that doesn't happen all that often, but we are seeing it right now, definitely. Do I think crude is going to go back up and hit $70 a barrel? Probably. Do I know when that's going to happen? No, I wouldn't even bet that it was going to happen in 2009. It might just have a tough time getting higher here once the strife in the Middle East settles itself out, as it always does. But what do I watch in terms of oil then, right? Because when oil's in play, I definitely want to go and be able to benefit from that price action. Well, I watch the related stocks. So for tomorrow, for instance, I'm going to be watching Canadian Natural Resources. This is a line drive setup. So the bar that we put in today represents a line drive move. That's that setup right there. If you don't know what that is, pull out your copy of Around the Horn, the Trader's Guide to Consistently Scoring in the Markets, and bone up on these things a little bit so that we're all on the same page and all talking about the same thing here. I see a move above 47.01 here, probably being capable of pushing price up to around $49 a share. So that would get us into some resistance, get us into some bodies that are buried from the October-November price action that we had. There's going to be a lot of people probably interested in liquidating positions there. So that's going to be my target on a short-term sort of a scalp move, intraday move rather, for the next couple of sessions. If If I'm watching that, then I'm probably also watching Ensana Corporation, right? ECA. So Canadian Natural Resources, that was CNQ, ECA, Ensana Corporation. This is also a line drive setup. And in this case, we're up above 53.15 on an entry. Again, I need to find a suitable stop loss in the morning. These guys don't have good stop levels going into the close on Monday. I would need to find a stop level that makes sense in terms of a risk-reward ratio with my profit target. Once I have that in place, I'm looking 53.15 or so if I have support from the broader indices and strength in the oils and oil services. And then on this one, I'm probably just looking for a move up to about 54 bucks, 54.10, 54.15 maybe. Maybe even up to this support and resistance area up around 54 and a quarter. But if I get a big move out of that, that'd be great if it busted just right up above that and kept right on going. But I'm going to take what they're given. It's a trader's market right now. I'd like to get in, just get little pops, take them, and put some money in my pocket. Now, on a related, sort of a peripheral kind of a stock, I'm going to be watching Nordic American Tanker Shipping. So this one is a fastball setup, and I'm looking at 37.27, 37.30, somewhere around there as an entry on this. I'm going to have to see strength in the shippers. I'm going to have to see some strength in some of the transports here. But this one, I think, easily up into $38 a share if it goes, and if it gets that support from the indices. And again, I've got to see some really good morning range support and resistance setup to define a very clear stop loss level, a floor on this one, if you will, so that Nordic American Tanker doesn't sink me. But if I get all those pieces of the puzzle in place, then I'm going to go ahead and look for an entry, 37.30, and an initial profit target on this one around 38 bucks a share. So Milos, I hope that answers your question. If anyone else has any questions, please shoot me an email, adrian@traderinsight.com. Have a great trading day on Tuesday.